How did either one of you start investing in the stock market? I think I know.
I'll tell you the story, but I gotta put this up because I knew he was going to say something. He said he's hashtag Cobb Creek Leak. You can go look up the hashtag.
That's my guy.
He's Cobb Creek. I knew he was going to say something. They're going to say something. I'll tell you my story very briefly. So I started when I was younger. I went to Central High School. And when I graduated, I said that I was going to go into politics to help my people. So I was grounded and raised in a situation where it was always about service. And I thought politics was the way. So to make a long story short, after my first year at Lincoln University, and I was a political science major, I started doing some internships and working on political campaigns. And as I was working on political campaigns, and I was the very bottom of the totem. I was doing stuff like just answering phones. But I happened to notice that when certain people called, no matter what was going on, it could be a meeting, the press could be there, the candidate would stop and talk to them. So when we have fundraisers, I would just ask questions like, who are these folks that everybody sort of panders to? And I'm like, you find out that they were the people that funded the campaign. Okay, so it's someone who's inquisitive. What do you do? I'm in real estate. I own this company. I own that company. I'm in the stock market. I'm in real estate. So real estate and the stock market were the two things that just kept coming up. And I'm like, well, these people actually have the power. It's not the candidates. It's the people that fund them. So between that and then at the same time, a friend of mine recommended a book, which was Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. So I read the book, and as I'm reading the book, I'm actually watching this happen in real life. So it hit me a little different. And when I went back to school, I changed my major to finance, and I wanted to start studying money. So I wanted to study, real estate and the stock market because I saw that's where the juice was. So if you really want to get things done, you have to have capital. And what I recognize is votes are cool, but unless you're voting in a block, doesn't matter. And if you have some funds behind your vote, then it changes things. Like I've seen people literally get laws changed. You'll have 600 people knock at a candidate's door and say, we want this. And one person comes with a checkbook and gets what they want over those 600 people. Yeah. And I know that's like, people don't want to hear that. But one of the things that we should know as a community is politicians can be bought and sold just like sneakers. That's just a fact in this current system. So, yeah, and I tell a little bit about that story in a book that Corey and I wrote together called Own Your Time and Space. I just want to put that out there because we do have a book that Corey and I wrote, Own Your Time and Space. Anyway, so that's my story of how I got into investing. So from that day forth, real estate and the stock market has just been like my life. And I still want to be of service. So we decide to give away. So even with our courses, we charge a minimal amount and we give so much. With you, Joe, what you're doing is giving so much too, because for groups like that and to someone to have access to you, I know other people that charge like a monthly subscription, like a Netflix, but we decided against that because it's more about our objective of giving back to the people. But Corey, you can tell your story briefly about how you got into investing.
All right, so my first foray into stocks was actually just selling stock. My dad created an investment portfolio when I was a child. He bought some block shares of some companies, and he put $10 a week after he did that. And then that was my graduation gift when I, graduated from high school. And so he, back then in the 90s, he sent me stock certificates. So he sent them to me in the mail, and I had to go to a broker and actually have them get sold and all of that stuff to get the money. I can't even tell you what was in the portfolio because when he handed it to me, I went right to the broker, got them Jones broke down, and took the money. So don't ask me what was in the portfolio. I don't actually know because
you probably another reason why you probably just gave away a couple million. He probably gave you stuff that right now could have been worth tens of millions of dollars. But
I can't tell you what was in it. All I know was that he gave me that. And I was like, man, I can get me a brand new wheel. I can go to college and stun on these jokers. Yeah, that's what's about to pop, right? So that's what I did. I can't even front. I lived in the hood, and I come from middle class means, but man, you give me a chance to stunt. I stunted on them. So I was like, all right, so that was my first real, foray into the stock market. So I bumped into a couple dollars, I'm just going to say I ran into it. I ran into a couple dollars head first. And then I started buying. I actually started investing in other people's businesses. So my family, you know, we started a business. We started a bar. Uh, we some other people that were starting businesses. I invested in their businesses. I helped a couple people write, you know, books. They needed to get them put out. They wanted to do it independently, so I helped them write the books, and I took a portion of those, you know. And so that was my first foray into investing, was investing in people. Um, and that worked out well for me. And then in about 2014, bumped into this dude named James Tompkins. He runs a program called the Abacus. Absolutely amazing. Nothing but black investors. If you're not gonna get with us, you should definitely get with them for investing. The Abacus Group. Um, and he put me onto investing in a whole different way. So I learned a lot about the stock market and about the world through the Abacus program. And then after that, you know, what I mean, I developed my own style of investing. Um, and you know, as far as real estate is concerned, you know, my family, my grandmother owned like half a block in North Philly. Um, and so, you know, I never really thought about property because, you know, we own so much property. Like I never thought about paying rent and none of that stuff until I got to being an adult and moved away from that block. I was like, damn, I live for free all these years. I played the shit out myself. Excuse my French, but I played myself hard.